Cool. I think we're live. You have to give it a second. See if people start to turn up. Is anyone there? Ah, we've just got some people here from Facebook. That's always a good sign. I feel better now. I feel like we're getting there. This is me. If you wonder, I'm trying to check to make sure that it's definitely going live, but I'm working on the fact that as people have just arrived from Facebook land, that it is indeed working as it should do. And we just going to come in and check to see what it says about the. Oh look, yeah, I'm there. So I feel like we're cooking on gas. Look at that. YouTube's coming in, Facebook's coming in. Getting there. I have to apologise. For some reason, the software that I used before won't let me have my video back, my intro video. So I've got to make a new one, which is a bit. I've been trying to avoid making a new one. Why would I have to if I've already got one? But I can't get it back off them, the little tykes, and I can't find the original file. So I'm going straight into it until I can figure that out. I liked having the time, the 3 minutes, whatever it was, to give you guys a little bit of a head start. But there we go. We've got some live stream chat. Let's see who we've got in the comments. Good evening, Darren. There we are. Oh, how do I get that? There we are. That pop up. There we are. Good evening. Good luck for tonight's draw. Amir's here. Good to see you, dude. And Jamie. There we go. Tim, good evening all. Show that on the screen. Stuart's here. Evening. Andrew's in from Campbelltown. Dave, wishing everyone a happy new year. Indeed, happy new year. I haven't seen you since before Christmas. Is it really quiet, or is it anyone else? That's a really good question. Tell me if it is really quiet, because I have a daughter who likes to fiddle with blinking electronics. So yes, tell me if it is really quiet, please. There is a microphone, which is right there. So there is one, but hopefully it's not down so low that you can't hear me, because my darling daughter's been playing around with it. Bob, evening to you. Good to see you here, dude. And same for you, Simon. Evening to you. So yes, we're just waiting for a few more to turn up. As I said before, this is a bit of not a pain. It's not a pain. That's the wrong thing to say. I can't get my video off the last provider, which is a bit weird. They want to keep it for some reason. I don't ask me why. So I need to do another one. So normally in the old days, as you know, you used to get a 3-minute warning, and that would give you time to everyone get here, and then we'd come live and I could see what people have written and all that sort of stuff. Now I have to kind of burn a little time, take a little bit of a few minutes to kind of get myself sorted, just to give everyone time to turn up. I'm assuming that because we're wired up again, that the signal quality is good enough for everyone. I'm hoping that's fine, and I'm hoping everyone can hear on that. Right, let me just have a quick chat again, or check on the chat, see if anyone says that. Better now, says Amir. That's what I like to hear. Quality and sound fine on FB. See where we are. Peter, happy to be back. Happy to have you back, dude. Peter was one of the people who, unfortunately, and this has happened a few times, I think, recently, where we had those the first couple of one-dayers. I put it on, and they went on, and they went, I'll come back and do that in a little while. And of course, there was no little while. It sold out. And to be fair, this one sold 100 tickets, or 99 tickets. So it's practically not practically a seller, but sold plenty of tickets. And on that front, I suppose I've been trying to think about, over the Christmas period, along with having a break, about new structures and new formats. I like the same day structure. I think that's really nice because it's just short, punchy. I suspect I might put a live one, should we say, just a live one to have there, just to have one up and running so people can buy tickets, and then probably we'll go from there and do a live one on Saturday, I think, or Sunday, sorry. because it seems to catch up people's intent. It's nice not to have to wait, isn't it? You buy a ticket and then have to wait like 2 weeks to get to find out if you won. It's quite nice to have this same day quick turnaround. So it's definitely going to become part of the new format, I should say. Peter, happy to be back. Evening from Gerald. Evening all, and happy New Year to you all. Indeed, happy New Year. Has everyone had a good time? Has everyone had a good period? Is no one too devastated by the snow? It's weird weather. Considering last night I was sitting here looking out over snow at this time, just started coming down, and then now it's 12 degrees here. What? And then in 2 days' time it's back down to -2 overnight. Some weird old weather going on. Global warming is not a myth, I'm guessing. We used to do what you're drinking, and I'm drinking Dr. Pepper tonight, and the reason being, I don't really even like Dr. Pepper very much, but I was putting my kids to bed and I was quite late doing it, so I had to grab something, and the first thing that came out of the fridge was that. So there we are. Jamie. Blinking Dr. Pepper. Ugh. So now you decided to come back and do a regular Wheel of Interest in Common Straw or the Wheel of Jura Death. We will be doing it. The reason I stopped it is because, well, there's a few reasons. I was trying to find a way of kind of making it a bit more interesting. So the comments draw was basically to get people watching and to do the comments and to so I wasn't sitting on my own, I suppose, to a certain degree. And that worked well enough. But then you end up with the same people doing comments every week, which is fine. Do you know what I mean? But I kind of was hoping I was going to find some new and interesting way of getting people to watch the show. So I'm just trying to find something different to do with that. The Spinning Wheel of Jura, the freebie one. The only reason that pauses is one, I was trying to find a more interesting way of doing it because we've been running the Spinning Wheel of Jura for like a year, which is quite a long time, if you think about it. So I was just trying to figure out a way of making it a bit more engaging. And the idea was I might leave it a little while and build things up and it's just trying to find a way of zooshing things up a little bit, I'm still not entirely convinced I found the right way. I'm like, isn't it funny? Like we've been doing this starting in 2020, so we're now into our, technically it'll be 5 years in September. We've been doing this a long time. And it's interesting that it's only just now that the same day competitions have sprung into life. Those people, certainly Jamie, who made the comment, will remember the half-hour competitions we used to have when we do the draw. So we used to do the draw. We do like 3 or 4 draws, and then I'd stop and go, right, for half an hour, here's a draw. People would buy tickets, and we come back and draw the winner. And they used to go bananas, and that's kind of what brought it back. So sometimes it's one of those things that you have to go around and think about it. It's just I want to make it as much as interesting and as engaging as possible. So sometimes you have to try new stuff and think of new things. I never managed to get a go on the Wheel of Jura Death in the 4 years I followed. We didn't do it for 4 years. I don't know when it's probably about a year we did the 4 year. Half-hour competitions were mad, says doing. They were bananas. And they used to just kill my website. The website used to just get battered when like 1,000 people tried to buy a ticket at the same time. So it was a great idea, but it generally just led to me having a minor heart attack every Sunday night because it was just bananas. So I'm not going to go back to half-an-hour competitions again. It just was too much. It was just too much for the poor website. It was too much for my poor little heart. But I like the same day ones. I like that. I think it's a really good idea. It's something really nice about buying tickets, as I said earlier. Buy your tickets and knowing that you're going to find out if you won that day, or in the next few hours. That's quite a nice way of doing it. It is. And Jamie says, I never managed to go on the Wheel of Jura Death in the 4 years I followed. I know you've been around for a long time. We didn't. The server's arse fell out when you done the half. Well, if you think about it, if any of you are interested in any sort of technology, especially cloud-based servers, they kind of work on, this is the average amount of work. This is the amount of stuff I do, and they kind of set themselves schedules like that. They're not made to just elastically spring up to take 1,000 server requests at the same time, and you don't want to set it up to take 1,000 server requests the whole time, because apart from that 1 5-minute gap when they come flying in, you don't need it. It's a whole load of extra expense for no reason. So it was It was a challenge. Can we notify people when we send them? Yeah, we can do that. That's no problem with doing that. That's not a bad idea, just to make people know that they're on their way. Yeah, we can do that. Linda says that she likes the same day's draws. I think that's a good shout. I think I'm just trying to find things that are more engaging. I just want to get some of that interesting and cool stuff back again. And it used to be bananas. For those, I mean, I know not everyone was here right at the beginning, but it used to be absolute bananas. We do like 20 draws at a time, and we do like the half-hour draw. It was all really crazy stuff. We did mega draws and all that sort of stuff. And I know the market changed a lot from that. And you have to remember, at the start, it was lockdown. Everyone was home all the time. It was a really interesting and engaging thing to do when you were stuck at home and you couldn't go anywhere. Yeah, so I know that it's different from when we started, but I want to get some of that fire back and some of that interesting stuff back. Chris, any updates on the new concept? I'll tell you some of the new concept, which I really like. So this is the new concept, and you have to tell me what you think. So it's called Friday Night Whiskey. Basically, the idea is pretty simple, but I really like it. So the idea is, I have been engaging with a number of distilleries and a number of providers of casks, all sorts of different casks, different ages, all that sort of stuff. And I've been trying some of them, and I've been finding ones I like and ones I think would be good to do. And the idea is simple. What happens is, we come up with I find a barrel that I think we should effectively split and make into bottles. And during the course of the week, I will drop you information about that barrel, about what it is, maybe a little idea of what the bottles will look like, that sort of stuff. Kind of during the course of the week, throw those sort of tidbits at you. And then on a Friday night, I haven't exactly got the hours right, but something like that, we turn around and we go, right, it's live, and you can buy a bottle of that barrel, however many there are. It will be different depending on the size of the barrel and what's in it. But the idea is simple in the fact that it goes live. Should we say it's Friday Night Whiskey, so it's going to be on Friday. So say we go live at 6 o'clock, and maybe we stop at 10. So it's only open for 4 hours. And the idea is simple: is I find the bottle, the barrel, I research the cask, I get everything there, put it out to you. And for those 4 hours, it goes on sale. If it sells out, then we buy the barrel, we split the barrel and off we go. And it's all done and dusted, and everyone gets their delivery of this amazing whiskey that we've chosen. If all bar one or anything less than the full amount sells, then no one pays, all the money goes back. We don't split the barrel. It's gone forever. We'll never refer to it again. So it's the ultimate kind of one chance and you miss it. A bit like the same day draws, really. It's a one chance, 4 hours. If you want to try this barrel, if you want to get I have to do a lot of work to try and get there. But we have this one chance to buy that barrel, and if it doesn't sell out, then it all goes back. I forget about it's ever happened. We move on to the next one the next week. So it's going to be a really short, punchy idea. If you like the idea of what's there, you buy a bottle, but you only get it if it all sells out. If it doesn't sell out, then it's gone forever. So that's kind of part of the idea. So that's part of the idea that I'm selling out. I haven't really done. I'll be honest. Over the Christmas period, I took a bit of a break. As you all know, I changed jobs, so it's been a bit like. So it's been a bit hard, a bit like a share of a racehorse. Well, kind of, but the thing is, it's one of those things. Is like unless you a bit like that is like if you haven't got enough people to buy all the shares, then you don't do it. It's done. So basically, I'll find and have been finding some really amazing single casks that are out there. For 4 hours, you'll have a chance to get in there. And if you want to, I wanted to move away from not away from the competitions. In addition to competitions, I wanted to actually start providing whiskey and actually have some whiskies under our own sort of bottling brand. So effectively, you'll have 4 hours if you want to get involved in that single cask, and it will go up. And if we sell them all out and we get back to this sort of exciting stuff, it would be great. And then you can all buy that whiskey and it'll be done. And we'll bottle it, and they'll be numbered, and there'll be other cool stuff that goes along with it. But if we don't sell them, then it's done. Forgot about. We'll never refer to it again. And that's kind of one of the big parts of it, is if it doesn't sell out, that cask will never do that cask again. It will be forgotten about. So that's kind of part of the idea. And it'll be interesting, won't it, as we get closer to the end. The other big, typically, how many bottles are you looking at as it is likely to sell? Well, it depends on the casks that are available and what size they are. Smaller casks have smaller numbers of bottles, as you can imagine, and some really big casks have loads. I suspect to start with, I will start towards the bottom end because this sounds obvious, I guess. I want to sell out. I want to do these whiskies. I don't want to do all the time researching them and getting like the bottle design made up and all that sort of stuff to not then do them. So that's, that will probably lead to starting to smaller stuff. As the brand grows and people get more interested in stuff like that, then we'll go for bigger barrels. There could easily become, so if you think about it, Whiskey Giveaway has got 4,500 members. So it's there's a lot of people listed with that. Say there's 200 bottles to buy, it could easily sell out very, very quickly. Especially as we're now moving, because this is actual guaranteed. Here's your bottle, numbered, individual, single cask, just for you. So there's, and as that grows and gets bigger, it could, we could go for really big mega ones, with hundreds and hundreds of bottles. So we'll have to see what it comes out with, and it will depend on each one, and it will depend. So I try them and see if if I enjoy them and I think they're good, and whether they should be, what sort of percentage they should be broken down at, and all that sort of stuff. And as much fun as it is to try them, I want to, ones I find that I really like, I'm hoping we get to the point where we effectively will find a way of sharing that amongst the people who are there. The tricky thing, I think, if I'm honest, the two tricky things is, one is if we get one, you get your bottle and you really like it, you won't be able to get any more because by its very nature, it's sold out straight away, unless you buy two. I suppose there's an argument you could do that. The other thing that's interesting, that's slightly different for me, and I think it's a lot of people, and I just saw Simon turn up, he'll attest to this. One of the things that really irritates me when you get a limited release or something like that comes out, or a single cask that's split, is they sell them and then one will turn up, it's broken, and they go, sorry, we haven't got any more left. They never keep any reserves for breakages, and then you're like, oh great, I got one of the, I was one of the lucky people to get one, and then it's gone and you just get your money back. So one of the things I will be doing is I'm going to keep a small reserve with each barrel split that will sit there, and that will make sure that if any do break, it'll make sure that definitely that everyone gets one, because there'll be a huge, well, I say it's a guarantee. If there's a fire the night we sell it in the warehouse and it goes up, there's only so much you can do. But obviously I want to make sure that there's nothing lost in transit and stuff like that, because it really irritates me when that happens. So there we are. I'm looking at the conversation. So where are we? Simon, evening, been a while. Indeed. Hope you are well, Simon. In fact, I haven't even been on the WhatsApp group for quite some time. Just had a bit of a decent break. Linda says that Friday night whiskey sounds like fun. I think it will be. I think it's a good idea, and I'd like the idea of like dropping you hints Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or what's coming and what you might like. So it's not like a here's the stuff. I want to pique your appetites and stuff. Why am I even drinking that? And Peter says, love the mega draw. Indeed, I used to love a mega draw. It used to be really nice, but like I said, it was a different time. When you had lockdown, it was a really different time. Even non 30-minute ones, they sold out so quickly. It was bananas. How will you know how many bottles in the barrel? So it depends on the size of the barrel, the cask that you're purchasing. So there's different sizes, and that will give you an idea. But again, so say that the barrel says it's going to have 100. I'm just picking on right there, 100 bottles. I will probably put it forward at like 90 bottles, so there's 10 spare, and that way that there's some backup in case there's any problems, in case of any breakages and all that sort of stuff. But it will be priced in such a way that it's not necessarily about hitting the 100. It's about the number I put forward. As long as we hit the number that I put forward, then we'll do the bottle and the barrel, and that'll be it. So that's kind of part of the idea. It's not all the idea. It's part of the idea. But yeah, I wanted to share that with you. So it's getting there. Good shout. And will the cost of bottling and labeling be included in the one? Yeah. So effectively, it'll be like you'll effectively see a retail price, for no better word. So you'll get here's a retail price, 50 quid, for example, and you'll buy it. And effectively, once that's done, we'll split it. It will go off to bottling. It will get labelled up. It'll all come out. It'll be delivered. Everything is incorporated in that price, and you just effectively get that bottle, and you get the everything you need. We cover all the other bits and pieces in the background, so that's all done and dusted. There'll obviously be a bit of a, and I don't know exactly yet what the delay will be between order and delivery, because it's not like it's bottled and on the shelf and ready to sip. It will have to go and be split, and I need to. Some places do it differently from others, so I need to do some digging to find out exactly how long each one will be. But we can work that out together. It's in place, and what will happen technically is, when you buy your bottle, you'll buy it for 50 quid, for example, and that money will be held. And if we get to the end of the 4 hours and it doesn't go forward, then that money just gets returned back to your card. So there's no risk from that side of stuff. You just get it refunded back. So it's cool. I like the idea. It's it's something that no one else has done. I wanted to move into actually doing some physical whiskey, and I think this is quite a nice way of doing it. Sounds great. I'd be interested in that. But and indeed, and what I'm very, very determined to do, I should point out, is, and this is one of the nice things about this concept, I think you guys will appreciate, is the fact that if you're an independent bottler that's out there, and there are lots of them, they go off, they find a cask, they decide that it's worth doing, matches what their brand wants to do, and they split it up, and they buy it and they bottle it and they get it all labeled up and they ship it out to shops, and then they hope they sell. So to make sure that they get their money in and covered, they probably put more profit margin into that, because that way it covers the risk that the bottle doesn't sell, if that makes sense. The good thing about this is, because we only do it if it sells out, then we can keep the pricing lower, and that means that actually it will be more cost effective. Now, I'm not saying that we won't do expensive ones. I quite like the idea of, like, in theory, as we get bigger, why could we not do like a 30-year-old Macallan? I've seen some crazy cask go for £500,000. Why couldn't we do that in the future? If we had enough people and they all wanted to do it. And that's even, we could just do some really cool stuff as we get bigger and we start doing that. So I really like the idea. So there's a bit more about it. That's a bit more about what Friday Night Whiskey is about. So it's a cool idea. It will do some cool stuff. I think it would be a really nice way of doing it. I think it'd be nice to get our own whiskey brand out there. I think it's cool. So if there's anything you think, or we could add some stuff to that, or I've got an idea or any of that sort of, feel free to share. But I know I've been a bit waylaid on doing the stuff with Whiskey Giveaway at the moment, and I'm probably inconsistent is the right way of putting it, but it's because I've been trying to do this in the background and the day job and Whiskey Giveaway, so it's a lot of stuff to balance up, including having a family and all that sort of stuff. Now that I've been talking for whatever it is, 20 odd minutes, and that wasn't really the whole reason we're here, should we find out who's going to win this GlenDronach collection, which looks amazing, to be fair, and I'm a bit like, oh, that does look good. I haven't tried them. I like the sound. I most people here will know I like the 21, the Parliament, and whenever I hear about any sherried GlenDronach, I always think that sounds amazing. So it'd be interesting to see what that's like. But we need to pick the winner for that. Really, that's the next thing. So if I can remember how to use this new piece of software. Oh, by the way, I should say I haven't moved. I've just moved my camera around. If you're wondering why the background now has paintings that I did of guitarists and stuff, that's why that's in the background and not the bookcase behind me. It's just because I've moved things around, so I'm next to my window. So GlenDronach, there we are. I can make it work. It's amazing. Now, can I share my screen and get the right things up? Let's have a go at that, shall we? You have to tell me if it appears. I think it's all working as it should do, which is great to hear. There we are. Now, the only thing I find about this, which is really irritating, is every time I leave to come back to comments, it starts at the very beginning, the first one that comes out. A few more comments. Sounds great. I'd be interested. Good shout. And will cost a bottle. Yeah, reserve of each barrel bottled. And all bottles from that year are raffled as one lot. Reserve one of each barrel bottled. And all bottles from that year. Do you know what? It was that's an interesting question that Scott's just made there. Reserve one of each barrel bottled, and all the bottles from that year are raffled as one lot. I've got to work it out. So the idea is, say I keep 5 or 10 or something like that to one side, just to make sure that everyone gets their bottles and everyone's comfortable and it's all within livid and we're covered. Then there will be some that are left over. So either they come into my, they come into whiskey giveaway, for example, and we add them into that mix. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It would be quite a cool way to do a whole collection, wouldn't it? To do in one big thing. That would be, and that way someone could win the full set, as Scott said. That could be quite cool. Sounds like a plan, Rob, says Darren. Ian, evening, just back from a very cold Findhorn. I imagine everywhere's very cold. Vickers, good morning, all from down under. Just about remember to get on. You're the opposite side of the world for this one, my man. The idea would be to purchase years in advance of bottling with a contractual agreement that it should not be bottled before a certain year. So, yeah, I mean, that's more of like that's more like an investment, what would you call it? Investment club kind of idea. You can do those things, but I want to get into getting some actual whiskey and some bottles out there. So this is slightly different, this idea. I wanted to do it in a slightly different way. Nev says it sounds great, which sounds good to me. And I've got drums going from Andrew, from Darren, and from Gerald. I've got a band really going. And then Carol's just turned up. So evening to you, Carol. Wow, good timing, Carol, because we're just about to do the draw. So this is the one for the GlenDronach, all 3 of the new releases. And everyone should know by now, the first thing we have to do is shuffle up all these entries. There we go. And we have to make it 40 seconds long, so it's always consistent. There we are. We're good to go. Just double checking no more comments. Long-term investment was. Do you know, it's off on a tangent, but I'm trying to think about what the investment thing is for whiskey at the moment. Prices are coming down, obviously. Not everything goes up forever. But then does that create some opportunities? Who knows? I think the thing I do find interesting, and certainly people like Simon would have said this, would have noticed this, the retail prices of a lot of whiskey have gone up at a time when people are in a cost of living crisis. So eventually, I don't know what they're going to do. They're not going to drop the price back down. I'm wondering if you're going to find a lot more discounts coming out where the distilleries try to at least keep the price high, but make it circumstantially low so people buy stuff. So we'll see how that pans out. Right. Should we find out who's going to win this one? Or these 3, I should say. Here we go. Good luck, everyone. The winner of the GlenDronach Masters Collection is... Oh, I didn't say who I thought it was going to be. Too much chatting about Friday Night Whiskey. Starting to slow. Mr. Hugo Engadala. Is it Malcolm? Oh, Nat McFeagle's here. He's here. Is it going to? It's got to be him because I didn't just notice the next one. So you were pretty good there. I think Malcolm Engadala is probably the sorest one of that lot because he was so close and yet so far. So for those people who don't know, he was one of our drummers. Andrew is indeed Nat McFeagle with the picture as well. To I don't know if you can see that on this small screen, but there you are. That's Andrew. Andrew Mitchell is He's none other than Nac McFeagle. And there we are. Congratulations to me. Well done, Andrew. Not one, but 3 bottles winging their way to you. Great win, Andy, says Darren. I've complained about this so many times, and yet I'm still. It's because when you're talking a lot, you need something to do that. So, Darren, great win, Andy says, and that's good because it means at least I know that they've gotten through. So there we are, Andy. I will organise that for you. Stuart, congratulations for all 3 bottles. Indeed, and you'll have to let me know what they're like. Some places are sold out already, so it's a bit. Oh, so I've just seen Jamie's put an applause and congrats, but on mine it's got a weird square against it, so I don't know what that is. But who knows? Who says these things ever work properly? And I've just noticed my little logo at the top of Whiskey Giveaway has got his Christmas hat on still, so I need to change that again, I think. So, well done, Nac McFeagle. You got yourself 3 bottles of GlenDronach winging their way to you. That's it. It's only the one because, as I say, well, you've heard I've been doing other bits and pieces in the meantime to try and get some other bits and pieces working and interesting and all that sort of stuff. So there's lots going on. But as Andrew says, it's a good start to the year. Indeed, I think that's a great start to the year. And hopefully, as soon as the Friday Night Whiskey thing comes on, I'll reach out to you and let you know. But I'm glad that everyone seems quite up for the idea. I think I missed something because I've got a Simon saying, I hope, but I'm not sure what the hope was for. Carol says, well done. Congrats, says Simon. Indeed, well done, Andrew. Right, I am going to go because I've spent too long talking already. It's over 30 minutes for one draw, but then we've had lots to talk about. Have a lovely week, guys. Hopefully the weather stays well and you don't get it's too bad up in Scotland. And I will speak to you guys soon. Have a lovely time. Speak to you soon. Bye.